Fantastic. Here we go. Guys, welcome everybody who is jumping on. I know that we have some attendees that are sitting or were sitting in the waiting room that are now live, but Jeremiah and I are super excited that you guys are here. We will give it a couple of minutes, I think, for everybody to jump on. What do you reckon, JA? Just for anybody who does come in?
Sounds like a plan to me. There's always a couple of latecomers, so let's give it a couple of minutes, and yeah, we can get into it once we have a few more here.
Oh, that's what I love to see. It is lunchtime too, so everybody's probably running out and grabbing their food to sit down at their desk. So we'll make sure that they're all ready to go and fully energized for a fun afternoon of Inspection Express and Tarpy, guys. Look at that.
Sounds like a plan. I will, I guess maybe we can do a bit of housekeeping while we're just waiting for people to join. So just for anyone who can or who's attending already that can hear us, the session is recorded today. So although it's not a live session, we can't hear any of you that are attending. You can type questions into the question bar on your dashboard. We will read out the questions at the end and provide answers to you. And as I said, it is recorded. So if you do sort of jump in late or you do want a copy of this, we will flick it out to everyone who attended today as well. So you can always double back if you do miss out on anything that we go through today.
Fantastic. That's always a great way to kind of start everything is, guys, we're here to listen. So if you do have questions, do type them in. There's no such thing as a silly question, guys. Even if you are using Tarpy or Inspection Express, you just need clarity on something, or if you need clarity on anything that we're going to run through today, type it in, guys. We'll help each other out. I can kind of jump in, have a look at any questions that come in for JA while he's presenting. You can do the same for me. Just make sure that everybody's being heard and all your questions are being answered. And of course, one of the most important, I guess we could say, housekeeping announcements for this, JA, is going to be the giveaways, mate. We're all about giving away all the stuff that we find in the Inspection Express office.
That's the way we do it. It's a good time of year, Christmas giveaways. We've got some Christmas goodies. So yeah, what we'll be doing at the end, we'll be drawing some prizes, and I think you've got some as well today, Jace, to give away. Do you want to let everyone know what you've got, and then I'll touch on what I've got, and then we can draw them out at the end?
Absolutely. So guys, we are going to get, I mean, ours is basic and nice and easy, just a couple of gift cards. So we've got a couple of $50 gift cards, Visa gift cards that we will send out to just like Jeremiah said, random people on the cast. We're going to have a look at the list of everybody that's here and choose randomly. It will be random, guys, as nonsense as that probably sounds, where you say, yeah, we're going to choose random. We legitimately will. So I'll be giving away a couple of gift cards. What about you, Jeremiah? What have you guys got?
Yeah, awesome. I got a couple of goodies. As you said, I've raided the cupboard here at the office. I've got firstly a little bottle of champers for whoever wins this one. So nice bottle of champagne there. I've also got a little Inspection Express Christmas hamper or parcel there. So there's a few goodies in that pack. I won't disclose what there is, mainly because I can't open it. It's sealed shut with a ribbon and I can't actually check, but I can assure you there is some goods inside there.
It's the old surprise pack.
the old surprise pack. And the last one I've got a Frank Green drink bottle pack. So in there you'll find an Inspection Express Frank Green branded drink bottle and a couple of other little goodies to go in there. So we'll be drawing them out at the end and we can give them away.
Oh, fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit of a sucker for a mystery prize, so that surprise box has got me a little bit excited. But I mean, everybody needs a Frank Green. If they don't have a Frank Green, you got to get one. So I think that's going to be the prize giveaway this afternoon, mate.
Love it. Love it. Looking forward to giving away that one and drawing a name out of the hat for that one.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's going to be super exciting, guys. And I mean, hey, we're all here for the Christmas spirit. It is going to be basically a nice webinar to kind of wrap up your years. I know we've all got a couple of weeks to go before we do wrap up for the year, but yeah, nice way to kind of end everything. Learn about some great new, integrations and features and whatnot that's all coming out for Inspection Express and Tarpy as well. And of course, like we said, wouldn't be a Christmas webinar without those giveaways at the end. So got a bit of Inspection Express and Tarpy clause going on here, and we'll make sure that we give those away to 5 amazing people at the end who, jumped on, took time out of their day to really learn. So we do appreciate everybody that is jumping on. I can see that they're all still coming in, which is fantastic. Going through the list now, it's amazing seeing who's on here. A couple of great clients there. I won't give any shout outs, but we love you all. And if we're not clients, you reach out and we'll have a great chat. How does that sound?
That's it. Sounds like a plan. I reckon, what are we? We've got a fair few attendees. What are we, 5-6 minutes past one? What do you say we make a bit of a start now and get into things, Jason? As I said, if you do miss anything at the start, we'll send everyone a copy who attends today. So don't stress too much if you jump in a little late.
Absolutely. So, look, I think it's a great opportunity to kind of jump in and kick off. Realistically, the whole plan for today, guys, is we wanted to jump on. We wanted to celebrate a great year. Also run through some features that we've got, kind of in the pipeline. Some great features from Inspection Express from Tarpey as well. So we'll be sure to do that. But one of the biggest announcements that we wanted to do today really all comes down to integration. So that's what we're about here. Collaboration is beautiful, and the collaboration between Inspection Express and Tarpey is one of my favorites. Love it, and I'm sure JA does too. And the big announcement that we have, guys, is that the Tarpey Inspection Express and Console Cloud integration is officially going live for beta testing in January to roll out at the start of Feb. So that is something all of our clients on the call that are current Console Cloud users, get excited. The time has come.
There's a few on that list, I reckon. So a few people will be reaping the benefits of that integration. So look, we're certainly really looking forward to getting that out to everyone. And I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, it has been one of the most asked about and highly anticipated feature launches for all of our clients on Console Cloud. So guys, in the new year, beta testing. If you do want to be a beta tester, please reach out, flick me through an email, shoot JA an email. We can get in contact and kind of set something up if you do want to be part of that testing process for January. But then guys, when it does go live, it is open for all. So get excited. If you're on Console Cloud, the time has come.
Awesome. Well, that's the grand announcement out the way. Hopefully we brought some joy to a few people by disclosing that. So yeah, thanks for that, Jace. That's awesome. What do you reckon now? We'll go through a little bit of a recap maybe of Inspection Express, of Tarpey, what's gone on for the year, what's new, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Absolutely, mate. I'm going to handball it to you. Kick us off. Get everybody excited, my friend.
Alrighty, beautiful. Well, a little bit of a recap. I assume most people who are attending the webinar today, majority of you, I'd assume, have either used Inspection Express before or you are using it, or you've come across it in some regard. And obviously, Jace from Tarpey as well, I assume you've all either come across Tarpey or are using it as well. So I don't really need to give you too much info about what we both do, but a little bit of an overview about probably something new and really exciting from Inspection Express this year. The development of the 360 inspections with the AI comments. Now, the 360 inspections, they've been around for a while, over 2 years now, actually. It feels like it was just yesterday that we were launching that, but upon reflection, I look back, it was middle of 2022. So that was quite some time ago. But the release of the AI comments was sort of in the back half of this year, and that's really changed the whole feature within Inspection Express and almost changed the industry. The way people are doing inspections, they're now super quick, exciting. PMs love going out and doing those inspections, more job satisfaction. There's so many benefits to using something like that. So I just maybe wanted to touch on that a little bit for today, just for those that haven't seen it, because as I said, that was more so released in the back half of this year. So maybe there are a few people on the webinar today who haven't quite seen how that works with 360 inspections. So I'm going to spend 5 minutes, or maybe let's stretch it to 7 or 8 minutes going through that today. Then I'm going to throw over to you, Jason. You can go through everything Tarpey related. But I guess to give you all a bit of a verbal spiel about how it works first before I share the screen and show it to you. When you're doing an inspection through Inspection Express, instead of you going to the property and taking 100-odd photos in every room on your phone or your iPad and moving through room by room, what you're instead going to do is you're going to bring with you this little tool here that I'm going to pull into view. So this is the 360 camera. Some of you may be using this already. Some of you that aren't may not have seen this. Now, for context, if I put it up to my hand, it's super small. It's about half the size of a phone, and I've got it sitting on top of a tripod. So the idea is you're going to bring that with you to any inspection that you want to use it for. You pop that down in a relatively central location within each room of the property. You control that camera from your Inspection Express app. The camera takes a full 360 image of the room in the space of 3 seconds for you, capturing everything in that one photo, the floor, the walls, the ceiling. I'll show you a sample of what it actually does for you in a moment. From there, you can add up close photos of areas within the room that you want to show in more detail. So if we take a photo of a room on the wall over there, there's a scuff mark, a hole, snap an up close photo of that from within your Inspection Express app on your phone or your iPad. It drops it in over that point on the 360 image over the top, so it can be tapped. It expands further to show more detail for the person who you are generating the report for. And you move through room by room doing your inspection photos like this. Then comes in to play the AI comments, and this is where it gets really exciting. Instead of the property managers sitting there typing out reports, making an assessment on every item in the room, they're hitting a button within the Inspection Express app named Generate AI Comments. AI will read the 360 photo of the room in every room, and it will write your report for you, making a comment on every item that is in your layout template that is visible from within the 360 photo. Writes that report for a 4-bed, 2-bath property in 1 to 2 minutes. Does it with 90 to 95% accuracy. It's unreal, the efficiency it brings. Of course, you're going to want to spend 5 minutes reviewing it. Read over it. We know that nothing is as good as a human touch. So do spend 5 minutes reviewing it, maybe making a couple of amendments, but it's going to do the bulk of the work for you in a couple of minutes. Then from there, you're left with this amazing report. Rather than just a PDF with tiny little photos on it, it leaves you with a walkthrough of the property as well as a PDF report that it has auto-generated for you for further backup. So you can provide this to your landlords if you use it for your routines, increasing the level of service you're giving to them. Your entries and your exits, the time will be significantly cut down. So you'll pick up a huge time saving there. And you can, of course, then use those tours to market your property and use it to advertise them for rent or for sale. So that's a bit of a verbal run through. I'm going to share my screen and give you all a really quick look at how it unfolds. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share that screen. Now, Jace, can you confirm for me, is that iPad screen visible for you?
Oh, it is, and it looks amazing, my friend.
Amazing. That's what I like to hear. So what you can all see here, this is the Inspection Express app. Now, you're obviously probably all somewhat familiar with this. So I'm going to jump straight into a 360 inspection. You'll see on the left there, there's a routine which is in progress. I'm going to open this one up. Now, what you'll see that I've done in this first room in the entrance hall, instead of taking 100 photos on my phone or my iPad, I've grabbed that 360 camera, put it in the room, walked out of the room and hit the capture button on my app. What I'm left with is a full 360 image of this particular room. So as I swipe around with my finger on the screen, you can see there, it's captured everything in the room in 360 degrees. You've got the ceiling, the floor, the walls, everything's been captured in that 3-second time frame. Pinch with your fingers and zoom in. You've got a fair scope of zoom there to pick up as much detail as you need. And you can, of course, add the up-close photos over the top. So front door locks, I'm going to hit on that, and you'll see the up-close photo that I've dropped in to show more detail. If I then press lounge in the yellow, walks me through to the next room, I've repeated the process. Now you'll notice in this room, there's some blurred out parts. You can blur any part of the room for tenant privacy. Obviously, that's pretty relevant for our New Zealand clients with their routine inspections and tenant privacy laws. But basically, you're just going to walk through room by room, capturing your 360 photos, tagging your up-close photos over the top. Now from there, once you've gone through all of your rooms and done that, instead of you manually typing out your inspection comments as you would be doing now, if you're not using this, I'm going to play a little video for you which shows you how the AI comments works. So you'll see that I've captured a 360 image in this first room, which in this case is the kitchen in this property. I'm going to come back in the app. I'm going to hit Generate AI Comments, and AI is going to write my report for me, reading that 360 image of the room. So all the items in the layout template are getting a comment made about them. The color, the condition, the quality of the item, if there's issues or defects associated with it. It's written the report for me like that in front of my eyes, 1 to 2 minutes for a 4-bed, 2-bath property with 90 to 95% accuracy. And of course, then you want to review it, maybe make a couple of changes here and there, and your report is basically done. You've done your photos, you've done your comments, you can fire it straight off from there. Now, I do want to show, before we finish up, just a couple of samples of the finished copies of those reports. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up my inbox here, and I'm going to show you a sample which I've sent to myself. So let's say we've done a routine inspection. This email here is what the landlord would get when you do a routine and you send it to them using this method. I'm going to open it up, and this is what you'd be presenting to your clients if you were to be using this feature. Your logo, your colors, your details all over the front. You're not going to have a video of my face on yours, but you will have a video of your own face. So what you can do at the end of any inspection, give a quick spiel about the inspection. Let the landlord or the tenant know about, any instruction you want to give them, and it adds a personal touch to the report. PDF report is always auto-generated. So you've got there your inspection comments, whether they are AI generated or your own, they are all there. And you've of course got your photos. You've got 360 photos, up close photos, all auto-populated into the PDF. The beauty of it is though, back on the home page, the owner or whoever's viewing the report can press start. They can then swipe around like this and virtually inspect their property. So that's the level of service you're giving to your clients. They can tap on the up close photos and view them, and they can walk their way through room by room. So from a routine point of view, that's an example of what you'd be providing to your clients moving forward. Your entries and your exits, the benefit of using something like this with the AI comments added in is the time saving. It really is enormous. And then lastly, from a marketing point of view, you've got the ability to upload a marketing version of the tour into your listings on REA or Domain or Trade Me or your website, advertise your properties for rent or for sale. And one last sample to show you here with the AI comments, this is what it actually leaves you with at the end of the tenancy. So you can do your inspection or your outgoing inspection through Inspection Express. You can pair it with the ingoing, and it gives you the direct side-by-side comparison like this. So on the left, you've got the entry photo. On the right, you've got the exit photo of the same room, and it moves the room at the same speed. So you've got a direct comparison, significantly reducing disputes at the end of the tenancy, allowing you to basically differentiate the difference of the condition of the property from when the tenant moved in to when the tenant moved out. So that there, trying to keep it obviously pretty high level, is a really brief sort of overview for you all about the 360 inspections and the AI comments. Now, everyone knows as well the standard features of Inspection Express, allowing you to do your inspections, the amazing integration we've got with Tarpy, where you log your maintenance during an inspection, sends it straight back into Tarpy for you to action from there. That's probably the something that Jace might touch on in a little more detail for today. But I reckon for me, that's a really sort of quick overview for everyone. So as I said, I'm going to get to any questions at the end of the session today, but Jace, I reckon I might pass it over to you now to go through some exciting stuff from Tarpy. So I'm going to make you the presenter now.
Thank you very much. And let me tell you, 90 to 95% accuracy with AI, mate. That is phenomenal. Like, that is amazing. Yeah, so absolutely super excited to hear that. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully you guys can tell me when you can see my screen, mate, with the Tarpy Inspection Express.
I have got it, mate, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it's a black screen with right writing. What else could you possibly want? That's what all that matters. Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you handing that over. So exactly right. Like what Jeremiah was saying, today is really all about celebrating everything and talking really about key features and kind of what the year has been, celebrating all of our clients that are on this call, people who might not be our clients on this call but are keen. We're here to celebrate you too, because that's the whole idea for this webinar, is really to give you an understanding as to where we're going and how we can really help your businesses. So what I thought we would do with the Tarpy presentation really is we're going to run through some of our great features. I've highlighted a couple of really amazing features at the end too that we've got available in Tarpy that we're really pushing, because our new clients are absolutely loving taking advantage of these features. So it's always great to highlight it. But I thought what we'd do first is we'd celebrate a massive year at Tarpy. We officially manage over 300,000 properties on our platform, which is an amazing effort. Huge thank you to everybody at Tarpy and the sales team. I'm part of the sales team, so I can thank myself. That's what it's all about. But no, it's been a huge year. We have really grown within the industry and deal with so many amazing clients. We've got a couple that we've highlighted here. I know that a few that we highlight here are on this call too. So this is all for you. You guys are absolutely amazing. And of course, you know, we are the market leader across Australia and New Zealand. A huge part of that is our partnerships, and I'm always big about acknowledging collaboration. So of course, MRI, Property Tree, Palace, Property Me, Console Cloud, Stafflink, and of course, the important one, Inspection Express. What we're about is really taking all of that software that you guys use and making sure that it speaks to each other. I mean, using software is designed to make your life easier, and if everything's talking, it just makes sense. So that's what we're all about. Now, I am definitely going to tell you how amazing Tapi is, but we have had some amazing references come through that I thought I would highlight here, just to really highlight kind of the work that we are doing and the fact that we're getting great feedback, like Elizabeth from Ray White McPherson. Basically, maintenance is a lot easier. That is what we want to hear. That's our goal for Tapi and for maintenance moving forward with property managers across the industry. So we want to make sure that we are in fact making it easy, and it's super easy for any PMs to navigate and get through. Beck Holton, this is another great success story from LJ Hooker City Residential. Basically, it was bringing in the solution for their business to really help reduce the time and the stress associated with maintenance, while also focusing on their main goal, which was increasing capacity, which we were able to do. So, it all depends on what the goal is for the business, but that's what we're here to support. And of course, Alison Holzer, one of my favorite absolute human beings. She's an amazing person. It was great being able to partner with their office to really bring in that idea of having a maintenance team which incorporates offshore and onshore team members to run maintenance for a huge portfolio. So, we've got 3 great testimonials here from people who have really used Tapi in the way that their businesses need it to work, which is great. So what we're all about really, and what we have been about, is we've gone from, hey, we want to make maintenance easier for you and your PMs because it is a horrible part of the job that takes up a lot of time. Well, we want to actually evolve that to turning maintenance into a selling point for your business. So that has been our focus this year. And how have we done it? Well, first feature, like Jeremiah mentioned before, AI is here to stay and is amazing. And where it comes into play with Tapi is through our tenant concierge chatbot. Now, the whole idea for the chatbot, for everybody using it, it is there to automate majority of your tenant engagement process and eliminate the unnecessary engagement. Now, what we mean by that is, hey, the chatbot can gather all that information for that maintenance request for you really thoroughly. It can also troubleshoot issues. So if it's not maintenance, you don't have to deal with it. And that's the most important part. Tenants are feeling super supported. They're lodging all the information they need. And if they do, in fact, sort out the issue themselves without having to lodge a maintenance request, well, that's a win for them and a win for you. And that's what we're all about, because we want to get rid of unnecessary call-outs and non-emergency after-hours calls. That is our end game with this chatbot, and I'm telling you, we will get there. Speeding up owner approvals is another key selling point. We get so many PMs say that that's one of their biggest pain points within their process, is just really following up those owners for approvals. We can help you with that. The chatbot is amazing, can ask the tenant for photos and videos, troubleshoot any issues, put together an entire chat conversation, summarize it, and that's what you can send out to your owner so they can see what the issue is, where it's at, what's been done to resolve it, faster for them to hit approve. And of course, it's got to be quick and easy for your tenants, because if it wasn't, they wouldn't use it. So it can work 2 ways. The chatbot will always sit live on your website, wherever you want, so your tenants can start using it the minute you go live. But then we've also got our property-specific QR codes. These are my favorite things, because you can basically chuck one in every single property, assign it to the property, and you never have to change it. It will be linked to that property for as long as you manage the property. And the whole idea for this is your tenant can scan a QR code in their property to get updates on maintenance and lodge maintenance, all from the comfort of their own home. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to run through a video just because this is one of, if not my favorite feature of Tapi, and I'm going to show you how much detail we go into to save PM's time when it does come to lodging maintenance. So we've got our wonderful tenant here, need to lodge a little bit of maintenance. They're going to go to their kitchen cupboard to scan the QR code, and that'll bring up the property homepage. And the property homepage will show them the address of the property, will have the agency's logo nice and big under that blue button, and any maintenance the tenant requests during their tenancy and where it's at. So one less reason for the tenant to get on the phone, guys. Get excited. If they want to know where that tap issue is at, they can scan the QR code, have a look in real time, and be on their way. And what's great about this is, because those QR codes are linked to the property, you don't have to change them when the tenancy changes, because we're linked to your trust accounting software. When you update the tenancy in your Console Cloud, Property Tree, Palace or Property Me trust accounting software, it gets pulled over to Tarpey. So your new tenant can essentially move in, scan the same QR code, and be on their way. The only difference is that all of the old maintenance from the old tenant will disappear because your new tenant does not need to concern themselves with that, and they'll only see the maintenance they request during their tenancy. Now, to request that maintenance, they'll hit that little blue button, bring up the chatbot. The chatbot will speak to them as if they're speaking to a person, and we always ask them to describe one issue at a time. And the reason for this is so we can sort it out. So here they'll tell us it's a leaking tap. Haven't told us which one of the 7 taps in the property it is, and we need to know that. So our chatbot will qualify that for your team. They'll tell us it's the kitchen tap. We'll then go through the process of gathering information. We'll give them options when answering now, really to make it a heck of a lot faster for them to lodge that maintenance, and also to eliminate them confusing themselves trying to explain it to you. They might have no idea what's going on. We want to make it as easy and as quick as possible for them to lodge the maintenance so you can get onto it and sort it out as quickly as possible. So here, we'll ask them how much water is leaking from the tap. They'll tell us it's constant. We'll ask if they can contain the water without turning the water off of the mains. Here they'll say no, just so I can show you how much detail we go into. So because they've said no, pull up photos of different water meters depending on the age and the location of the property. And the reason why we do this is because, full disclosure, I can walk up my street and ask 40 people where their water mains are, and I don't think half of them would know. So we want to do this to help your tenants understand what it is they're looking for and the safest way to turn it off. And if they can't do it, we can go one step further. We can offer them that extra level of support, house guidance or apartment guidance, depending on where they live. So here the tenant will scroll through those, say, nah, no idea, bit of house guidance, please. So pull up a YouTube video. The YouTube video will show them the most common areas to locate a water meter and the safest way to turn it off. What's great about the chatbot too is we're not all just about YouTube videos. We have an entire catalog of self-help guides as well for just basic maintenance around the house. So if your tenant were to jump on and say, hey, my toilet's blocked, we can give them a self-help guide as to how to unblock their toilet, which would be fantastic. Because as long as there is no risk of them harming themselves or causing any further damage to the property, we'll help them sort it out. But the best part of our chatbot, and it's because, guys, I am biased, I'm guilty of doing this myself. Best part of the chatbot is we automatically pull in over 500,000 make and model user manuals for appliances. So if your tenant jumps on and says my hot water server, my oven isn't working, one of the questions we'll say is, hey, give us the make and model number. When they type it in, we will give them the manual. It might not be a maintenance issue, it might be a usability issue. So we will show them everything they need to support them. And if it does turn out to be maintenance after we give them the manual, we'll attach that user manual to the work order for the PMs, for the trades, whoever it is that needs it. How good is that? So in this example here, the tenant will have watched that YouTube video, turn the water off of the mains. So we've asked them, how did you go? Is the water off of the mains? They'll say yes. We'll ask if that stopped the water leak. They will say yes, because there is no water running to that property now. And then we will let them know that we'll get the tap issue over to the property manager and let them know of the urgency as well. And then we ask them to lodge the request. Does that sound good to you? Now, we've also got an urgent maintenance message as well that we can show for any urgent maintenance. Don't have an example of it because it can say literally anything you guys want it to say. So let's just say your tenant jumps on and says my hot water service exploded. We'll shut down the conversation, serve them with the urgent message, and it can say anything. Hey, this is deemed urgent maintenance. Contact our office number during business hours, this number after business hours. Here's a list of trades if you do have preferred after hours trades. Here's a list of emergency trades. And more importantly, guys, bottom part of that message, we can include a wonderful little disclaimer that says, please note, if this is not urgent after hours maintenance, you are responsible for covering the call out fee. Anything you would normally say in an after hours call, we can put in that message. Now, that is how your tenants will request their maintenance on Tarpey. This is where all that maintenance goes. This is our Tarpey tracker, and this is literally where we cut the time in half with maintenance. And the way that we do that is we automate every step of the process in some way, shape, or form so your team doesn't have to do it. I am talking reminders, follow-ups, admin on invoices is a huge one. Reoccurring works, let's automate that so you don't have to send 100 emails out or maintenance requests out every month for smoke alarms or something similar. Tradie compliance documents is a huge one. It literally terrifies me when I ask that question in the demo, and most people say we actually don't follow up our tradie compliance documents. It's okay if you're in that bucket because, to be honest with you, most people are, but that should never be the case. So we've got the ability to track their tradie compliance documents within Tarpey, and then automate the process every step of the way. We can flag with you if they're compliant before you send a work order. We can flag if they're not compliant and then stop you from sending a work order. And we also do automatic follow-up. So 2 weeks out of any of their documents expiring, we'll follow them up to get it for you instead of you having to set reminders to do it. So that is what it's all about. But the most important part of our tracker is that bottom dot point there. Simple to use for everybody, your tenants, your landlords, and your trades. Don't have to sign up to anything, create accounts, download apps, or pay anything. It is literally done with branded email communication, just that simply. So that is our Tarpy tracker. Now, the last 2 things I wanted to highlight really quickly are 2 amazing features that we've got rolled out in Tarpy that people are starting to absolutely go nuts for. The first feature I wanted to show you is our asset register. Full disclosure, guys, I go a little bit crazy for this too, because this is where we bring in really maintenance, a little bit of tax depreciation, and all the information you need into one spot. And the reason why I get excited for that is because I think I'm genuinely one of the only 5 people in Australia who gets genuinely excited for tax depreciation. But it is super important for a PM to understand lifespans and remaining values and things like that. So we've got the ability for you to lodge assets in properties. So if you were to lodge an asset with an invoice, let's say you've got an oven that's been replaced, it's literally 6 bits of information. What is the asset, make, model number, when was it installed, how much did it cost, is there a warranty? Once you put all that information in, this beautiful little asset register will flag against that asset every single time a work order comes in the work order. So you'll have all this information ready to go for everybody's favorite conversation, repair versus replacement. We all know that most of the time it's probably going to be more beneficial for the owner and the property to replace that asset, but the owner is always going to want to repair it. That's where the conversation can be had without you even thinking about it. Hey, I understand you want to repair it, but from what I can see, it's 12 years old, which means technically it's worthless. We've already spent $1,000. We've done 3 previous jobs, of which the last job is the same issue, cost $500 to fix. If we spend another $500, we're spending the same amount of money as a brand new oven, and that would just be irresponsible. It'd be better for you, the property, and of course your tax if we were just to replace it. You've managed to have that conversation without doing any research. But that's not my favorite part of this. My favorite part of this are these 2 tiles here. So we've got the lifetime tile and the remaining value. Now we pull both of these numbers from the ATO's depreciation guidelines. So you have a full understanding as to how much life is left in that asset and how much value. Where is that useful? Well, everybody loves tribunal. Now, we pull those 2 numbers from the ATO depreciation guidelines. That's the same place members of tribunal pull their numbers when determining compensation. So, hey, take the tenant to tribunal. I want you to get me some compensation for that oven. Unfortunately, it's 12 years old. Tribunal allows 10 years. We won't get anything. Flip side, no worries. There's 5 years left and about $800. We know roughly what we can get. Well, I want $1,500. I'm really sorry, but the depreciable value that's left in that asset is only $800. That's all that we'd be able to get. How good is that? You've managed to have that high level conversation with your owner without having to do any research. If that doesn't get you guys excited, I don't know what will. But that is hands down my favorite feature because I'm all about that information. Last feature I'm going to show you is our Care Now, Pay Later solution. One of the biggest lots of feedback we get from PMs that we deal with is that, hey, we get a lot of maintenance that comes in that that owners just can't afford and trades won't put on payment plans for extended periods of time. So we've partnered with a lending company called Property Credit to give your owners the ability to put any large-scale maintenance on a payment plan up to $15,000 at a low interest rate for 12 months. The whole idea for this is that it is inbuilt in our software. You don't have to refer them off to a third party. You can do it all from here, and it's an ace in your back pocket. What I mean by that is nobody knows about this but you guys. So if you do have an owner that gets a quote for $15,000 to rewire their house and they are stressing about how they're going to pay it, you can have that conversation. Hey, we've got the ability to do this. Do you want to learn more? Yes, we do. Great. You hit approve with Property tab. Lending company reaches out on your behalf, explains everything that's involved, and the owner says, yep, they want to go ahead. They are approved within 24 hours. Work gets done, trade gets paid, tenant's happy, rent comes in, and then your owner pays that off completely separate to you because God forbid you should ever lose a management halfway through one of the property tabs. It follows your owner, doesn't follow you. Your trade's already been paid, the tenant's already happy, the rent's been coming in, the work has been done, and you have done your job. That's what it's all about. So I wanted to round this out with one more success story. This is Ash from Harcourts in Mandurah. I love Ash. I reached out to Ash just as a follow-up just to see how everything was going and got such an amazing reference from her. She gave such great feedback. I've put it all in here. What's amazing is the fact that she's kind of taken all the key points of what Tapi is there to do and praised it. Like, hey, it's made it easy for my team. It is incredibly user-friendly. It is incredibly streamlined and easy to use. Like, that's what this is all about. Support is a big thing too. You know, we want to make sure that everybody feels supported. So that's the reason why I've popped in Ash's reference, purely because those words were just amazing. And I love the fact that it just touched on everything that we offer. So guys, that's everything I wanted to basically show you. If you want to see how Tapi can help elevate your business, scan that QR code. That was, believe it or not, although I took up a fair chunk of time, and I'm sorry, JA, that was actually a really quick run through. We can log into Tapi. I can show you the way it works in relation to your specific trust accounting software too. So please, guys, scan the QR code. It's a form that comes straight through to me, and I'll just give you a call, and we can have a chat and see how everything goes. All right, mate, I am going to stop sharing my screen.
Awesome, mate. That was
there we go.
That was outstanding. The feedback, I love seeing the feedback that you've popped on there, like those testimonials and such, seeing the feedback from clients that use it. There's nothing better than seeing that, and I reckon it's awesome that you're getting that feedback. I love to see it.
Oh, it's what it's all about, isn't it? And what I love too is the fact that we'll do phone calls, you know, 2 months later or 3 months later, and just like, hey, how's it going? And this, you know, this will be the sales team that'll reach out and just see how people are going. And, you know, to get that feedback, that open and honest feedback in a phone call where, you know, we're calling them to hear that, you know, yeah, we're loving it and it's great. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. It's lovely when you stay on a phone and people will actually kind of run through why they love it. I love those key points that they're willing to share, which is amazing. I love every part of that.
Absolutely awesome to see, and yeah, it really highlights, I guess, that, you know, Tapi is the best maintenance platform out there in Australia and New Zealand, as is Inspection Express with inspections. So there's a reason they're both at the top of their respective software systems.
Oh, I love it, mate. I love that. All right, I'm flicking through the questions now, mate. We don't have an awful lot of questions, which means you and I did a really horrible job, or we did a really great job. So yeah. I'm going to go down the path of maybe we did a pretty good job. So I'm very happy to hear that. So what we've got here. All right. So Deb Brinkman, Deb. I love Deb. Deb's a new client of Tapi. We love you, Deb. But the question is for Inspection Express, and you answered this when you were running through, but I'll ask it again, mate. Question about Inspection Express. When I do routines, can I arrange maintenance through the Inspection Express app?
Absolutely. Great question, Deb. And this is, I guess, the beauty of the integration that we have with Tapi. So when you are using the Inspection Express app, you're doing your inspection, you know, whether it is an ingoing, an outgoing, a routine. If you've got the app in front of you, you've got a little hammer and screwdriver button there that you can tap on. So whenever you're doing an inspection, keep an eye out for that button. It's just next to the camera button on the right-hand side. Tap on that button there. You can then add the title, the description, photos and videos of the maintenance items that you're wanting to log. When you then finalize that report, those are then sent straight back into Tapi for you, ready to action. And that's, again, the beauty of that integration. So you log it when you're doing the inspection. Inspection Express is the means of logging it. Tapi is the means of dealing with it and ensuring that it gets rectified from there.
Absolutely. Great answer. And you've also answered Sam's question as well. How does Tapi integrate with Inspection Express? It's exactly that way, mate. You can lodge maintenance in, it will get pulled across to Tapi, you can run it, and everybody is all happy. That's what it's all about. What else do we have here? Let's go through the questions. Deb Brinkman said yay, and that's all that matters, Deb. I'm happy to hear you're excited about that. Is the AI feature now across all inspections? That is from Summer Lewis.
Yeah, good question, Summer. So at the moment, right now, as it stands, if you were to use Inspection Express, say today, the AI comments are generated from your ingoing or your entry inspection. They will be available for the exits and the outgoings and the routines in the new year. That's been developed right now as we speak. It's in the final stages of testing, so not far away. The beauty of it is, though, let's say you just do it for your ingoing inspection report once, generate those AI comments, you can then reuse them over and over, because you can copy those inspection comments into your next inspection and just make the changes as to what you can identify that's different. But as I said, by the time the new year comes around, you'll be able to do it for all of your inspections.
Fantastic. How good is that? Great answer. This one actually might lead on to that. We've got Tuscany has said, will AI generate be available for routine reports, the written part?
Yeah, same answer there, I guess, for you, Tuscany. As I said, literally the same as before. In the new year, those routines and outgoings will be able to be generated through AI as well. But for the moment, it's just doing it for the entries.
Fantastic. All right. Oh, we have a bit of, here we go. It's not a question. Natisha, no question. Just want to reiterate the huge amount of time saved by using AI and 360 camera features. Absolute game changer. I couldn't agree with you more, Natisha.
Amazing. Love that feedback, Natisha. Thank you so much. I know you've been using it for quite a while now, so you were one of our first on it, and I'm glad to hear it's going well for you and you're seeing the benefits. That's awesome.
That's fantastic. All right, Tuscany has a message for me. With Tapi assets, do we need to enter a figure for new builds? Our asset register is basically just for the plant and equipment items, not the actual build of the property. So they're just for the assets inside the property. So if you are looking at that depreciable rate for the build, I mean, we put in the effective life and the remaining value of the asset, so you have that on hand for any maintenance requests that come in for said assets. If you want a more in-depth depreciation schedule, you will need to engage in a quantity surveyor to do that for you. We don't do the actual cost of the new builds in our asset register. Sorry that that's not part of it, but I hope that answers your question. All right, what have we got here? Inspection. Oh, we've just got Liz saying, Inspection Express, woo, get excited. Oh, no, here's a question directly underneath it. Oh, no, it's not a question. We've been using Inspection Express for about a month and we love it. Oh, Liz, get excited.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. Love the feedback. Glad to hear it. There was one actually up above, Jace. I'll just touch on it before I forget about it. I did see it. I'm just trying to find it again. Rather than a question, it was actually just a note from Kim. You can't use 360 inspections for routines in South Australia. So Kim, just on that, you can use the 360 for your routines if you want to. It is up to you whether you use it or not. Now, I understand South Australia has the same sort of laws around tenant privacy as New Zealand. If you get approval from the tenant, there's no issue. So what we find a lot of our clients in South Australia and New Zealand do for their routine inspections, they just open the dialogue with the tenant, explain to the tenant why you're doing the inspection this way. More often than not, if you just have a bit of a conversation rather than, barging through the door with a camera and a tripod, they actually are okay with it, 6 or 7 times out of 10. You've got the ability to blur parts of the image. You can put the tenant at ease by letting them know that. So I'd suggest, although you can certainly use it for your ingoings and your outgoings, if you do want to use it for your routines, just have that dialogue with the tenant, and I reckon that might change things for you. So just something to keep in mind there before I forget about that one. So yeah.
No, that's look, mate, it's always good to have that dialogue too. So it's fantastic to be able to provide that dialogue to really help Kim, which is fantastic. We've got Amanda saying, got our 360 cameras. Can't wait to start using it. Fantastic. Loving the feedback, guys. Mark, nice work. Looking forward to AI on all inspections. Love Tapi. Keep up the work. Mark, you're a legend. And, is it Cindy? Here we go. Will Inspection Express connect it to Tapi soon and enable us to automatically upload any maintenance required to Tapi straight after we finalize the inspection? Ready to go now. So
it's there.
If you are using Property Me, Property Tree, absolutely. Console Cloud to be in the new year, but that's exactly the way it's going to work, Sandy. Basically, you will lodge your maintenance with that little, what is it? It's a screwdriver and a hammer, I believe it is.
Hammer and a screwdriver crossed over each other like that. So
absolutely. So hit that button, lodge your maintenance, comes into Tapi, get excited, do everything in one nice, easy workflow. That's what it's all about. Oh, here we go. We've got Shannon Welsh. Oh, Shannon, all the way from WA. I'm so happy that you've jumped on, lovely. How much time would it save agents approximately in using the 360 cameras for ingoings and outgoings as opposed to the usual walkthrough and photos?
Yeah, great question, Shannon, and good thing I've got some lots of data stored in my brain here. So to give you a bit of background, using the 360 and the AI part of Inspection Express, we've got about 1,800 agencies across Australia and New Zealand. We've got a fair sample size to base this data off based upon that. So what we can see inspection times taken by an agency before they're using the 360. We can then see the inspection time taken for the same property, for the same inspection, once they've signed up for the 360. And we can obviously compare that for every agency using it. Now, generally speaking, it cuts the inspection time down to 30% of the original time for an ingoing or an outgoing. So if an ingoing takes you 2 hours, I'd say 40 minutes. If it takes you 3 hours, I'd say 1 hour. If it takes you 1 hour, I'd say down to 20 minutes. Base your time saving on a 30% of the original time, and that's what you can sort of pencil in terms of the return you're going to be getting.
Fantastic. Well, we've got Kim that's jumped on as well, Shannon, to say it saves her 50% plus. How is that? Let me tell you.
That backs it up, doesn't it?
Inspection Express t-shirt, mate. We're going to have to get you one of those. That's fantastic. Renee has also jumped on with some great feedback saying that they've been using Inspection Express for the last couple of years. It's amazing. Now with 360 AI, it's a game changer. Absolutely recommend it if you aren't on it already. How good is that, guys?
Thank you, Renee.
Some awesome questions. I'm trying to make sure we haven't missed anything. Let's have a look. I reckon that's everything. Guys, they have been some awesome questions. I'm not going to lie to you guys. A lot of people said they loved Inspection Express, and I love them too, but I feel a little bit lonely. So if anybody wants to put a woo tarpy in that chat, I'll take it. But fantastic. I appreciate you guys jumping on and definitely asking some questions. Oh, hang on. We've had a couple more come in real quick. Here we go. Oh, fantastic. We've got Jeff saying, been using Insta360 for entries and exits. Absolutely love it at McGrath Noosa. Owners love the video content. How good is that? We use Palace software. This is from Cindy. We use Palace software, but for the inspections, we're using Inspection Express. Is it possible to send work required from Inspection Express to Tarpy? So basically with the pull in, you know what I might do, Sandy? I might actually reach out to you because I think this is going to take a very long time to explain it. So I might actually reach out to you. I'll get one of our guys to reach out to you, Sandy, and we'll work you through the workflow process from there as well. Just keeping the time in mind just because we're almost done. But Sandy, I will grab your details and we will definitely get in contact with you as to how that works. That'll be fantastic. Last one really quickly. Does Inspection Express have the stats for the average time on the entry report? Sarah.
Yeah, so those stats I threw out before, Sarah, that was based on an entry and an exit. So in terms of the stats of the average time, that obviously varies very much from agency to agency. You'd be surprised with what I see. Some agencies do about 10 photos for an ingoing report. Others do about 9,000. There's no way for us to measure the time it's going to take you to do the inspection. We can just measure the time saving. And that's what I was sort of alluding to before. Base it on about cutting it down to 30% of the original time if you were to use the 360 for your entries and your exits.
Fantastic. Amazing. All right. Oh, hey, we got a couple of woohoo tarpies. That's what I love. Amanda,
one from Jamie as well.
Love you guys.
Very good.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's amazing. All right, guys, that is fantastic. If we've missed any questions, we will reach out to you afterwards. I promise you, we will note them down. Just keeping the time in mind, we want to make sure that we give away these Christmas giveaways. So, JA. All right, how are we going to do this? Are we just going to go through? All right, let's go through the attendees and do like a random flick. How does that sound?
I've actually just been, as we were doing those questions, I was going through the attendees, stopping the mouse on it as I'd scroll down, and I've picked out my 3 already for my 3 prizes.
All right. Do you want to do your 3, and then I will randomly scroll and give away my 2? Let's go.
Done. You do yours. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off firstly with the bottle of champagne. Now, obviously, with sending a bottle of champagne, we're somewhat limited with location. We're not going to be able to send this over to, say, New Zealand from where we are based in Melbourne, Australia. I picked a Melbourne-based agency for this one once I stopped the mouse. So the winner of this one here is Melissa Hickson. So congratulations, you've won the bottle of the champagne.
If there was anybody who deserves that bottle, it's Melissa Hickson.
Round of applause for Melissa.
Good job.
Next up, what we've got our, if I grab it out so I can hold it up for you, we've got our Inspection Express hamper pack. So that there has been won by Sendy Cicino. So Sendy, we will get this over to you. And
Fantastic.
lastly, our Frank Green Pack, the winner of the Frank Green Pack, my mouse stopped on Rosemary van der Velden. So congratulations, Rosemary.
Fantastic.
Round of applause as well.
So
there we go.
is
That's
fantastic.
Inspection Express presents done. And where have you landed, Jace? Who's winning yours?
All right. So I've flicked through. One of the people who accidentally got landed on was Anthony Booth, who is new business development manager at Tarpey. So Boothie, you're not getting anything, mate. So I apologise for that. But so what we're going to do, guys, is we will give away 2 $100 Visa gift cards. So the first one that I've randomly stopped on is Jamie Donato. Jamie, you are going to get one of our $100 Visa gift cards. And we're going to scroll through and randomly stop on. All right. Tuscany McLean, you're getting the second one. So that is fantastic. I am going to make a very quick note here, just so I know who to send these out to. But no, that is fantastic, guys. That is awesome. It has been an amazing webinar, JA. I think we have had a great turnout, awesome attendance. That feedback and those questions have been phenomenal. So I am super excited that we're able to do this, super excited that we're able to give away some awesome Christmas presents as well. But guys, on behalf of JA, myself, Inspection Express and Tarpey, thank you so much for jumping on. We do appreciate you taking time out of your day. We understand that it is awfully busy and lunchtime. So guys, credit to everybody who's jumped on. Thank you so much. The recording of this, when are we going to have this recording ready to send out, my friend?
Yeah, so everyone that attended today, and actually people that didn't attend as well, but still registered, everyone will get an email with a recording. It usually goes out within, I think, about 4 hours. So I reckon by the end of the day today, it should be in everyone's inbox. And from there, obviously, you'll have contact details for Jace from Tarpey and myself, obviously, from Inspection Express. So if anyone does want any further info, if you want to book in a time, maybe catch up, we can go through everything in more detail. You can get back to us there. And yeah, I reckon that's pretty much everything for today.
That's everything. Fantastic. Well, guys, thanks again for jumping on. Thanks for all your amazing feedback. And yeah, we look forward to a super exciting 2025 with all of you. So thanks for jumping on. Have an amazing day. Have a great Christmas break. You all deserve it.
Amazing. Thanks so much, everyone. See you later.
See you later, guys.